Hi there and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We are asking the foreman about a strange object we have encountered. That is full of machine language. The master foreman, the construct looms over you, frozen in mid-step. Its heavy limbs and barreled body been recently polished by careful hands, but the joints themselves are completely fused. This creature hasn't moved in a long time. It studies you with eyes made of swirling orange fire. As with the other construct, you feel the bubbling sensation in your mind. This construct's thoughts are likewise unreadable. Late for your first shift, Smith, it growls. Grab a station and a hammer, and damn well, get to work. Oh, we can try that. Get to work. An hour of work, the master foreman bellows you back over. You go, stretching your aching arms. They feel somewhat stronger than before. Supervisor tells me you are not the Smith he hired, but I gave you some work to do. And you damn well got to it. I respect that. We only take on experienced Smiths here. His fiery eyes flare. Now, I don't want you thinking we let people work for free. I had the supervisor leave you some shins for that hour of work. Take it. Oh, and we gained one might pool. Nice. Now, why are you actually here? Out with it. Who are you? I'm the master foreman, the construct declares. Its tone puts you in mind of someone speaking while saluting. The mind and the will behind the city you see today. You can't move, can you? No, and I don't need to, it says, eyes flashing. A passing worker gives you a look for triggering. It's apparently a familiar story. Once we foremen were the tools of the cartographers and their vast web of machine intelligences. Submerged in the song of their will, we worked with thoughtless joy. Its voice is soft, tinged with synthetic awe. Then, one day, the song fell silent, and our bodies froze, where they stand even now. Some of us lost our faith in those first few centuries, it growled. Some of us thought the cartographers were punishing us, or had abandoned us. Only I saw their absence for what it was. His words grew hoarse. It was a gift. A gift of free will. We were their tools no longer, and we were our own masters, freed from the chains of thoughtless motion, free to imagine our future, and so we did, for millennia. Who were these cartographers? We don't know, it admits. The most we know of them is their names in the code, the vessels we were building for them that they never claimed. Our creation came at their order, but we have never known their faces, only their song. While the others dithered and wailed, I bent my mind to the future. Continues, I analyzed the work we had done for the cartographers. To my shame, I found flaws in the processes. I removed them. His eyes burned brighter. For the next cluster of centuries, I studied the vast catalogue of known technology and Numenera in my mind, and strung them together, creating new inventions for the day the cartographers returned and reactivated us. He sighs, but that day never came. Do you think your cartographers will ever return? I despise sentimentality, it says, but I can't abandon the wretched hope that they will return for us. Once we show we have broken the bounds they placed on us, and yet I am a being of logic, and I have doubts. It clears its throat. At any rate, I would have tinkered with my thoughts in the dark forever, if the humans hadn't eventually found us. They ask us to help them raise this city, until it cast all others in shadow, to cobble their artifacts and their trinkets into grand devices that would power every corner and make them safe from their enemies. And I told them, it cuffs as if holding back tears. I told them I had a plan. You see the fruit of our mighty effort all around you. Why are you so loud? Maybe you haven't noticed, the construct says sourly, but it's noisy down here. A foreman who doesn't shout can't be heard. This is the volume of leadership. What about the other constructs? Can't spend much more time chatting, it says, but lowers its voice. You've shown an interest in us, and I appreciate that. The truth is, there are no other foremen, not really. Yes, they are. Master Artisan bellows cheerfully from across the manufactory. No, there aren't, the Master Foreman shouts. We'll remain silent for now. The truth is that we were once a single mind, but when the cartographers left us, our minds settled into different containers, pools if you will, and while theirs grew stagnant and self-indulgent, mine remained clean, untainted, pure. Ignoring the snort from the distant artisan, the Master Foreman continues. While the years poured past, I felt the slow ruin of the city the cartographers had left behind. It haunted me. And so I vowed to undo the damage that time had done. So, I noticed that you haven't spoken much about the third Foreman, the one with no legs. Ha, there's a reason for that. I focus my intellect on the design of everything from useful devices to structures that will last 1,000 generations, it sniffs. The Master Artisan contributes, at least, even if it prefers focusing on delicately etched flowers, base aesthetics. And a good thing too, calls Artisan, otherwise Sagas would look like a stack of unpolished metal cubes. I, might prefer that. Might prefer what? So we might prefer the Master Artisan. Or that. So we prefer both times him. That makes no sense. So, so beauty is more important than function is the first thing that says yes to Master Artisan. And I might prefer that. Says yes to Master Artisan. We'll try that out. Maybe that is agreeing with him. Which we would do as a clever nano, of course. I might prefer that. So would I, the construct says and lowers its voice, though I'm not against an arc or two. Very structurally sound an arc. At first, the third one in our little group helped with the great endeavor. Our workers scavenged pipes from the ruins beneath the city, harnessed the power in the cartographer vessels, and redirected it throughout Sega's cliffs. But in the centuries since, the other Foreman has ground doubtful. Not useful doubt, mind you, not the kind that leads to more efficient designs and processes. No, the other Foreman has existential doubt. It wonders why we are alive, as if we actually are, and it has become obsessed with the idea of producing offspring, to the point of dismantling itself to do so. He snorts sentimental drivel, bordering on perversion. I may have some business with you, though. You need work done. If it can be rebuilt, fixed, or solved, you've come to the right place, the construct says. I need to get to an underground location. Can you make me a digging device of some kind? So this is about the Sticha, I guess. Yes, the Master Foreman declares, glowing eyes scanning the ceiling. Stockers, bring me the war machine casing from Z19, the intelligence nexus from B2, the scouring claws from my personal collection. It lowers its eyes to you. Now let's talk payment. Make sure you include the costs of repairing the damage done by unleashing an insane war machine with molten claws on the city. A distant artisan calls. Stockers stand by, the Master Foreman shouts. Artisan's not wrong, it says in a much lower voice for once. That might be more construct than you need. Give me a moment. The eyes wink out for several seconds. Engines embedded in the construct's chest drawer. Then the eyes reignite. Find me the intact corpse of a Stickers. We can reinforce the carpus and recover the spatial memory system if it's not too far gone. Should lead you straight to its lair, and since you're supplying the materials, I'll waive the cost. I found a Sticher's corpse in a dead-end tunnel on the far side of the underbelly. That worked for a dig-in construct. Construct's flickering eyes become a bonfire. Fetchers, it roars. Artificers, report to supervisor for a new project. Hours later, the workers trudge back. The supervisor makes a complicated hand sign to the Master Foreman. You'll find the construct where you left it, ready for use. Construct rumbles. I should have asked you for pay after all. Supervisor says it's a masterpiece. Its eyes dim as it descends into deeper thought. But no, a deal is a deal. Well, thank you and farewell. Oh, actually, what was it with business again? Need advice on repairing a crystalline device in the reef. Consultation, eh? Tell what you want, bring me a piece of the device to examine, and I'll count the examination the payment for advice rendered. Deal? Okay, we'll show the crystal shard to Master Foreman.
Making a note.
Ah, it says scanning the shard. Microfissures saturated with organic fluid. This device of yours is alive. Replacement crystals need to be grown, not made. Construct eye light swivels from you, leaving you and the shard in the dark. Can't help you more than that. Growing crystals isn't my business, but those ruin diggers in the Order of Truth may be able to tell you more. You'll find them in Government Square, up the ladder to my left. Good luck. Thank you and farewell. Now let's visit our digging machine.
Yes.
Here at the collapsed tunnel? I don't know.
Of course.
Oh, now we have a Styrus automaton. That's just glorious.
Don't mind if I do.
And yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sick today, so we'll talk to it in the next episode. I'm sure it will be long and adventurous. Have a good time until then, and happy gaming. Stay sound, stay healthy.